One of my favorite things to do with watches in my collection is to swap the straps out and kind of give them different looks. And Strap Mill Canada just sent in some new straps for review, so I'm looking forward to checking them out. Let's take a look. Hey guys, welcome back to Just the Watch. My name's Dave and I live in Japan and I love collecting affordable watches. So if you are interested in watch collecting but don't have a lot of money, hit the subscribe button. I'm sure we're gonna have some content that you're going to enjoy. And one of my favorite parts of the hobby is actually changing out the straps on my watches. Straps tend to be a lot cheaper than watches, but oftentimes changing out the strap on a watch can almost give you the effect of having an entirely new watch. And there are a lot of really amazing budget strap companies out there. I've covered a lot of them on the channel. Strap Mill Canada comes in kind of in the mid-tier. Most of their straps are kind of in that $30 to $50 range. And that's an interesting price range for straps. When you start getting into that price range, you get access to higher quality leather, a little bit more interesting designs, and some better longevity as well. And that's, I think, really what I've seen with Strap Mill Canada straps as I've checked them out for this review. As usual, I've went through the watches that I have in hand to try and find some good ones to mix and match with the straps, give them some new looks. So I think that'll be a fun part of this review as we go through. We'll see what we can do with the watches that I have and how these straps can really bring out some new life to them. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in, swap the camera around, take a look at the straps and see what they got. Before we do, make sure you check out the t-shirt store if you wanna get any shirts like this. I've got some cool designs over there for you to check out, link down in the description down below. Also, I do need to mention that these straps were provided to me for free by Strap Mill Canada. I do get to keep them after the review is done, which is why you saw the paid promotions flag at the beginning of this video. However, on the straps themselves, I didn't receive any compensation at all for this review, nor did Strap Mill Canada have any input into the content of the review. Okay, let's see what they sent over. Okay, so I have 5 straps I'm going to be taking a look at from Strap Mill Canada today. I also have their premium spring bar removal tool. I'll be checking that out as we go. They call these first 2 straps their Crazy Horse leather straps. This third one is their Pilot strap, which is also made out of Crazy Horse leather. And then we have a 2-piece seatbelt NATO strap and a vulcanized rubber strap. I've got some cool watches I'm going to be pairing these up with. We'll see how they do, see what they can do to change the look of the watches that I have kind of lying around the house or here in my collection. But first I want to take a look at these 2 Crazy Horse leather straps. They are slightly different, but the pricing and the materials are the same. Price on these in US dollars is roughly $37.50. Start by checking out this caramel one. So this one they say is a caramel colored strap. It's kind of a light brown. And this is what I tend to call a heritage leather strap. It's kind of like those vintage leather straps, but with a single line of stitching across the top. And then you got stitching down here to reinforce the buckle and the first keeper there. Very simple, very clean look. And I think this looks great on a pretty wide range of straps. This style is just a really great one to have. And the leather here is fairly nice. This is Crazy Horse leather, which is a leather that has a wax finish applied to it. And the benefit to that is, one, it's supposed to protect the leather a little bit, but more what people like it for is the character that it brings out. So you can see that this one, you can see some of the scratches on the wax. That is something that is desirable with this. As you wear this strap, it will bend and crease, and the finish will get little scratches and develop a patina, and it'll get a really cool kind of vintage personalized look. Out of the box, the strap is very supple and soft. It doesn't feel like it's really going to require any break-in time, which is great. You're getting some nice sealing along the edges here, good stitching, and the leather feels very high quality. Now compared to like Horween leather straps, these definitely feel like a lighter leather. The weight feels lighter, and they also feel drier, so not as heavily oiled or moisturized, but overall the quality feels like a pretty decent strap. Now I want to pair this one up with the new Seiko SRPG that I picked up, so we're going to be checking that one on there. The Seiko comes on a NATO strap, so I feel like having a nice leather strap to swap it over the two is a great option, and it really does look good. It really kind of brings out a new sort of character to the watch, and it does feel very comfortable on this strap. Again, almost no break-in time whatsoever. Okay, next we're going to check out the other Crazy Horse leather strap. This one is a 22 millimeter, and I think they called this one like a blue gray or blue ash gray or something like that. It's basically a gray strap. It does have a little bit of blue tones to it, but for the most part it comes off as gray. This one is in 22 millimeters. So you're getting the exact same material, the same waxed finish that's going to patina and develop its character over time, the same kind of weight and feel. But this time, instead of just the simple stitching on the tops and the bottoms, you're getting stitching all the way around. So still pretty clean look, but maybe not as clean as the other one. A little bit more detail there. Yeah, and even the leather on the underside feels really nice and high quality on these. Again, same suppleness and feel to it. This one I'm going to pair up with my Hamilton Jazzmaster GMT, which comes on this kind of really cool ostrich leather strap, which is very flashy. So having something a little bit simpler to swap it over to, I think is kind of a cool look. And as you can see on this, it looks really good. Going over from that brownish strap to a kind of, gray bluish tones really changes up the character of the watch. And it still is well balanced. It still fits to the wrist well. So pretty good there. Now, one thing to note about both of these straps, I have a 7.5-inch wrist, and I'm, pretty much on the second to last or third to last hole. So if you have much larger than a 7.5-inch wrist, you might have a hard time getting these ones to fit. So if you have a really large wrist, these ones may not work for you. But 7.5-inch or lower, no problem. And I think for the $37.50 that they're offering, that's a pretty fair price for this. This is about the level of quality you would expect in a strap in that price range. Next one we're going to look at is this Pilot strap. This one jumps up to $48. It's a little bit more of a premium. Now there's a lot of detailing going on this strap, and I think this is where it gets kind of cool, where you're, spend a little bit more in price and you're getting something that's a little bit more unique than you would normally get in the budget range. So you can see there's a lot of stitching going on here, kind of very intricate. The strap is very reinforced as well, so you can see there's a fairly good length of leather and fairly good thickness of leather being folded over. This slot where the keeper is going to go in is going to be really secure there. In addition to the stitching, you're getting these kind of Pilot style rivets that do go completely through. They're not just decorative, so they will really hold this flap of leather in there. It's going to be very unlikely to come apart there, and your straps, your watch should be really secure. And you can see the same things down with the keepers as well. So there's a lot of reinforcing going on this strap. The material is the same Crazy Horse leather as the other one. So same feel, that same kind of lightness, a little bit drier feel, but waxed finish, going to develop the same patina. And this one, I got this because I want to try it out on my Bulova Lunar Pilot, which comes on this kind of carbon fiber looking leather strap that I never really cared for. And I always thought it'd be cool to swap it over to a Pilot style leather strap. And when you do that, there's a lot going on. The Lunar Pilot has a pretty intricate, detailed dial and subdials, and then you put it on a strap that has all these rivets and stitching going on. Yeah, it's maybe visually a lot, but I think it looks really cool, really comfortable on the wrist, and kind of a nice, fun one to go to. So if you have an aviation watch or a pilot's watch, this is a really good Pilot style strap, and I think they're giving you a pretty fair value for your money at $48. Same issue though with the size. Again, at around 7.5 inches, it wears pretty well on my wrist, but if you go much over 7.5 inches, you might run into some limitations on that. Okay, so next one we're going to look at is this two-piece seatbelt NATO strap. I think they called this color like asteroid gray or asteroid blue. This one, it's kind of between like a navy and a really dark gray. It's kind of a really interesting color. This one is about $32.50. And this is the one that I thought, maybe for the price they're probably asking too much. It is a nice strap, but I've seen other seatbelt straps that have pretty much equivalent material, so the nylon is about the same quality nylon. The typical single pass NATOs, you can get them for around $20, $25. This one's a little bit more complicated in that they've included quick release spring bars. It is a very nice, comfortable one, and it does look very well made, so I'll give them that. The stitching here on the underside looks very strong. All of the edges are very well sealed, so it's a very well made seatbelt NATO strap. But I feel like I've seen pretty similar straps for a lot cheaper from other places. But yeah, it is a very nice one. And these are really cool straps. Like the two-piece NATOs are one of my favorites. You don't get the security of a NATO strap, but you get the look of a NATO strap. You get the comfort of a nylon strap. And it just wears better on a lot of watches. A lot of watches just don't really wear well with a NATO strap, especially having that extra layer going under the watch. This is just going to be a two-piece, so you can get around that. And I'm going to pair this one up with my new Citizen World Timer. So that one comes on a metal bracelet. It has 200 meters of water resistance. You swap it over to a NATO strap. You can preserve that water resistance. And on this one, yeah, it's a much lighter feel to the watch. You take a lot of weight off going from a metal bracelet over to this NATO strap. Very comfortable. Again, very well made. Okay, last strap we're going to take a look at is the vulcanized rubber strap. This one I have in orange. And this one comes in right around $45 USD. And these kind of simple rubber straps are something I'm really coming around to. I think when I first started collecting, I associated rubber straps with cheap watches, but there's something really nice about a good rubber strap, and this is a very good rubber strap. So it's made out of vulcanized rubber, which is very soft and supple. It also has, kind of a semi-gloss finish, a little bit more of a matte finish, but it attracts basically no dust. Always looks very clean, so much different than silicone. And then they have put these kind of channels underneath to help with, breathability. So you get some airflow that can flow in under there, so your wrist doesn't get quite as sweaty or hot or dries off after you take it in the water. This is a great one to pair up with dive watches and things like that. This one also comes with quick release straps. And I really like just the super clean look on the front of it. There's no texture. It's just a fully solid one. A little bit of molding there, so you can see that the top of it curves like that. Which is going to allow it to conform to your wrist really well. First keeper is secured in there with these little things that can be moved if you slip it off because it's rubber, so it stretches. And then a really nice solid buckle that they've included as well. But yeah, with this really clean finish to it, I think you can wear it on a lot of watches. Obviously, you think dive watches first when you go with rubber straps, but I think something like this you can put on a lot of different sport watches, and especially with the different colors and things, you can really have fun with that. I think it gives you a little bit more versatility. I got this strap with my 39mm Zealous Horizons in mind. That one's a white dial watch with an orange second hand, so I thought pairing up an orange strap with that orange second hand would kind of look good. And having a nice rubber option to swap off the bracelet is kind of a cool look. Very comfortable. I think, for a lot of people, if you're not into the comfort of bracelets, the Zealous Horizons bracelet is one of the best I've used, but it's still metal, so this nice soft supple rubber is definitely more comfortable, more flexible, retains all the water resistance, comfortable on the wrist, so really cool strap there. Now the last thing I want to take a look at is the spring bar tool. Now this is a pretty expensive spring bar tool. I think they run about $50 on their site. It is probably the nicest spring bar tool that I've used, and it's quickly become my favorite one. I've gone through a bunch of different spring bar tools, never used anything this nice. It does make changing spring bars much easier. It's got a nice weight to it. It's definitely a little bit heavy in the hand, so nicely balanced. You're getting two sides here. So on this side, you've got this very big kind of forked groove that's big and flat that you can use for leather and rubber straps. And it's really good for getting in there. It's really easy to get a good grip on the spring bar and to pop it out. And then on the other side, you've got a dual-tipped, really small one. Now this one is great for getting the spring bars out of braceleted watches. And that's something that I have really struggled to find a good spring bar tool for removing bracelets. A lot of times bracelets have a very tiny little slot to get a spring bar in, and a lot of spring bar tools I've used, they just don't fit well into that little slot, and it makes it such a pain to use. This one is tiny enough to get in there. It's got a nice groove. I think these are both like hardened steel tips, so they should last a long time. So I really like that. And then this one is double-sided. You can unscrew this part here, and you can flip it around, and it's just got a pin tool on the other side, so you can use that for drilled lugs to get out straps from there. And both of these tips are removable, so they sell the tips individually. So if you do happen to break a tip or something and need it, you don't have to buy the whole tool again. You can get just the tip. Save a little more money that way. So this is something that if you're changing straps a lot and you want like a heavy duty professional level tool, this is a pretty nice one to have, but it is fairly pricey at $50. But anyways, overall, really great set of straps that they sent over. Definitely interested in seeing how the Crazy Horse leather looks over time as I wear it more and kind of see the watch's patina a little bit. And I think with summer coming up around the corner, the vulcanized rubber and the NATO straps, those will get some good use too. So link is down in the description if you're interested in purchasing any of these straps. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think down below. Which was your favorite strap? Which was your favorite watch pairing? And what do you think about the value that they have on offer here? Love to kind of continue this conversation in the comments down below, so make sure you comment, let me know. And again, don't forget to check out the t-shirt store while you're at it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.